Some inkjet canvases have more polyester and are thinner and therefore more stretchy. Some inkjet canvases have a higher percentage of cotton and are thicker and therefore less stretchy. There are other factors that determine the stretchiness of a canvas. So you need to determine based on the canvas you are using how tight you want to stretch the giclée. Some thinner canvases will rip if you try to stretch them too tight. So I have found that it is not necessary to stretch giclées too tight. They just need to be tight enough so they don't flap when you move them. This particular tightness is perfect for this canvas. Stretching a giclée is similar to stretching a blank artist canvas. The only difference is that you need to keep the edge of the print shown on the back the same width on opposing sides and the same size for the width of the entire side. Let me show you what that looks like. So this side of the giclée over here needs to be the same width from that the bottom to the top, and over here it needs to be the same width from the bottom to the top, and they should be the same width as each other. Likewise, the bottom and the top should be the same width across the entire length of the bar, except for where it compensates for going over the tucks. The tucks are on the top and the bottom of the canvas, therefore the canvas is going to be a little shorter towards the corners. But the distance across this should be the same, and across that should be the same. Also, you'll be able to tell if you measured your stretcher bars the right way. If you measured them correctly, you'll end up with 3/8 of an inch to a 1/2 inch after stretching on all the 4 corners. With the push pin securely fastened, put your first staple in the center of one of the short sides, slightly pulling on the canvas. Repeat on the opposing side. Next, put a staple in the center of one of the long sides. Repeat on the opposing side. Next, start to staple from the center out. Staple 1 to 2 staples on either side of the center staple at a time. Be sure not to get too far in one direction, otherwise you could knock the print out of square. Pay super close attention to keeping the width of the print showing on the back even. If you are pulling pretty tight, you will need to put the staples pretty close together to avoid ripples. Try to gauge how much pressure you are using to stretch the canvas and keep it even all the way across. Sometimes people have a tendency to loosen up at the corners, and that can cause ripples. Stretching with uneven pressure can also cause ripples, as can spacing your staples too far apart. The sides can be stapled all the way to the corners, but stop stapling 4 inches away from the corners on the top and bottom of the print. This is where the tucks are going to go.